Scary Strikes. I'm Randy Scott. This is Arch Manning, and he's back. Remember, he was dealing with a concussion in his last game, missed some time at practice.
Oh, there he is. Oh, let's go.
He looks just fine. He goes, I felt good the whole time. It felt great to be back out there. I should say so. This is the first play from scrimmage. Ryan Wingo, the Mandalorian, the Ryan the Witch in the Wardrobe. He's gone. We're still workshopping these. It's 7-0 Texas. They're hosting 9th-ranked Vanderbilt. First time they played in Austin since the early 20th century. And then Baxter. Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee. You ate an entire wheel of cheese? I'm not even mad. That's amazing. That's C.J. Baxter in the end zone for the Longhorns. It's 17-0. Now it's 24-10. Arch isn't done. To Emmett Mosley, the fifth.
Oh, took a hit, too.
I played the fifth. Steve Sarkisian is fired up. It's 31-10. Arch threw for 328, second most in his career. But Sarkisian said, you got to play 60 minutes in this conference for sure. That's Diego Pavia. He would like a word. Matter of fact, he's going to say it while running. 25 yards to the crib.
Oh!
Yeah. Took a shot and then flipped the ball at the defender. The problem is Vandy had trouble running the football. Limped to 58 rushing yards. That's fine. Pavia's got it like this. That is to Eli Stowers. 67 yards on the pitch and catch. Don't do it. Gary, don't do it. Don't do it. 67 yards.
No, I don't get the reference.
Longest pass play of
Vandy's. I pride
Vandy's
myself on being cool.
Season. Out of his own end zone, Pavia. 21 yards to Junior Sherrill. Pavia was sacked 6 times. He had to buy some time, create some time. Pavia to Richie Hoskins later in the drive. 2nd and goal. That was 4th and 19 from his own 2 before this.
Wow.
And that is now a touchdown. That drive continues. Pavia 365, 3 touchdowns. 21 unanswered for the Commodores. Now they have to get the onside kick. They're down 3. Oh, it's muffed. It's muffed. What happens? Out of bounds. What? Oh, the Commodores had their chances. Vandy hangs on. And rather, the Horns hang on, I should say. Vanderbilt's furious comeback falls just short.
All right, to Dallas and the number 10 Hurricanes of Miami on upset alert. And then you can get rid of the alert. They just got upset. Rhett Lashley, 2-year extension. He's good in Dallas at SMU until 2032. Yikes. Marquise Lightfoot hitting Kevin Jennings. You heard the ball get blown dead. Mario Cristobal's like, wait a minute, he couldn't hear the whistle. Not happy about the call. Roughing, okay, 30 seconds to go. This is all, by the way, in the 4th quarter, 4th and 5. You got to tie it here for SMU, and they do. Sam Keltner, 38 yards out. We're tied at 20. We head to overtime. Miami gets first crack at it. 3rd and 6 at SMU's 7. Carson Beck pump faking, connecting with Ahmad Moses. He plays for SMU, though. Moses parts ways with receiver for the interception. His 2nd of the game, by the way. Beck, can't believe it, but if you've watched Carson Beck play, maybe you can. Now SMU's turn, 1st and goal at Miami's 1. TJ Harden punches it in on homecoming, no less. SMU rushed for 23 yards in this game, 23 yards, and they upset Miami 26-20. It is now our privilege to get to spend some time with Heather Dinich and Paul Finebaum this morning on SportsCenter. Great to see you both. Heather, how damaging a loss is this for Miami?
Well, it likely knocked them out and the entire conference out of the committee's top 12 on Tuesday night. Now, the ACC champion is going to lock up a spot on Selection Day, but right now, when you look at Miami, Georgia Tech, and Virginia, they are all outside of the top 15 in ESPN's strength of record metric. So what's going to happen here is if the ACC champion is outside of the selection committee's top 12 on Selection Day, along with the group of 5 champion, you're going to see the committee's number 11 and number 12 teams knocked out. One of the things that they are going to consider on Tuesday, though, is Miami's head-to-head win against Notre Dame. That's one of the tiebreakers in the room. But guys, I believe that at this point, they will think that these 2 teams have gone in such different directions since that game that they could be willing to look past it because Miami has gone the wrong way and Notre Dame is playing so much better lately.
As usual, Heather is a little more charitable than I am going to be. I was just gobsmacked by what a bad loss this was. And it just seems like we get to November and here comes Miami every year finding some way to blow their chances. Remember last year they did it in that last game against Syracuse. And I still think they have a path. They have a really big game later in the season at Pittsburgh, which is a pretty good team, but that's really about it. So they better get to that ACC championship game, and they better win the league if they want to get to the playoffs.
Manning comes out slinging. Oh, Vanderbilt had all kinds of chances at it.
It's deflected, but down with it is Smith in the end zone. Then Ohio State remains undefeated.
Picked off at the 2.
And Miami's playoff hopes on life support.
And here they come. Pack with the upset.
They are dominating college football.
Sold out once again.
They just keep on rolling.
That was a wild week in college football. Paul Finebaum is with us for Paul in or Paul out. Paul, why don't we start with Texas? After that win, they'll end up making the playoff. Are you Paul in or Paul out?
I am horns down, Paul out, Randy. They have made a nice comeback, and Arch is looking very good, but their schedule is daunting. Remember, they still have to go to Georgia. They're a top 5 team. They have to deal with Texas A&M on the final Friday of the regular season. I don't think they can get through both, and I think their playoff hopes will end somewhere very soon.
Last one. The worst loss yesterday was Miami. Are you Paul in or Paul out?
Yeah, I'm pretty in on that being the worst loss of the day because Miami just doesn't really have a path back to the playoffs. Once again, they have everything in their grasp, and once again, Mario Cristobal's team finds a way to blow it. Yesterday, they just couldn't hold on. They couldn't make a stop in overtime. They have Pittsburgh later in the year. That could give them a little cred. They need to figure out a way to get to the ACC championship game, but I don't think they're going to make it either.
In the last segment, we were talking with Heather Dinich and talking with yourself about the best team in the SEC and how that could decide 3 and 4 in the first edition of the college football playoff rankings. The best team in the SEC in your mind, the one that's impressed you the most so far, is who?
It's Alabama, and I realize, and I think everyone realizes, Randy, they lost to Florida State a million years ago or so it seems. It was Labor Day weekend. But what they've done since then is exemplary. I think A&M is quite good. I mean, they're maybe a hair, and I mean like one of my hairs behind Alabama, not very much. But Notre Dame, winning at Notre Dame is good, but Notre Dame is not exactly a great team, and they will see better competition later in the season. But right now, I'm going to give it to Alabama.
All right, you heard it here first from Paul Finebaum. We appreciate it, sir. Thank you. We're rolling on with Roman Harper, who was in Austin yesterday. Roman, Texas gets that big win over Vanderbilt. The lasting impression of Arch Manning in that offense is what?
Man, that they were clicking on all cylinders yesterday. I got to give Arch Manning a lot of credit because yesterday I talked about the struggles were because of his inaccuracies, the lack of the offensive cohesiveness through the offensive line and their struggles and not being able to find a running game. Where Arch was on point yesterday, and he played with a ton of swagger. You see him headbutting the camera and stuff. I love that. He played with a sense of confidence that Sarkisian had maybe mentioned that he had earned throughout the week of practice, but I saw it in full operation yesterday, and I got to give the offensive line a ton of credit. Arch never really felt a lot of pressure up front. The offensive line played one of their best games I've seen them play all year long. And Travion Wisner, the running back, got it going with his legs early in this game too. So you got to give Texas a lot of credit because now their college football playoff chances are still alive, and they still have a path to the SEC championship because they have to go on the road to Georgia and they host Texas A&M at the end of the year. So if they win those two, they're still in this thing some kind of way. And I got to be honest, great job, Texas.
Yeah, okay, there's a path, but man, that is a bumpy road. Now, so that we don't end up as the severed limbs or the severed ears on the walls behind you, let's give you the floor. It is time for Roman's Forum.
Well, appreciate that. Randy, first of all, my son told me I shouldn't talk about Texas because Vanderbilt ultimately sold because they didn't recover that kick. So, but I wanted to talk about, that's his advice. I want to talk about the chaos that is going on right now in college football. Auburn, and I hate to do this to everybody back home, Auburn lost to Kentucky last night by 3 points. Kentucky had won an SEC game in over a year. That was crazy. But Clemson, we saw them go down again. And Clemson was a top 3 team in the country leading up to this season. I should have bet my homeboy that bet me that they were going to win a national championship. I totally lost out on that. And Clemson is 0-3 at home in ACC games. There's no way, no world that I imagine that Dabo Swinney would be the head coach at Clemson University and they be 0-3 in that conference at home. They call it the Death Valley. Well, they should change the name to Springs Valley because everybody's having a great time this year when they go there. I don't know what's going on at Clemson. I don't know what's going on with all the other teams. Georgia Tech went down. Miami went down. A lot of teams are going down. It is chaos out here.
Yeah.
It is survive and advance week after week.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, everybody will be judged at the end of the year, and I have no clue what will be left after the season's over with.
You might have thought Roman Harper, hey, he's coming on, he's got a butterfly in his lapel. He's going to be nice and pleasant and take it easy. Not if you're Clemson. First playoff rankings
Straight up.
are going to be revealed on Tuesday, 8 Eastern on ESPN. Rome, thank you.
You want this, you got that. No way, watch them walk right past you. Run fast while you have the chance. Don't speak, let them look right at you.